on the particular immigration benefit category. We've calibrated the needs.
I would like that. Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary.
The gentlelady yields back. Mr. Roy.
Thank the Chairman. Mr. Secretary, there have been over 1 million plus individuals put into proceedings or released into the United States on your watch. I've asked multiple Border Patrol personnel, not the union, mind you, if we double, triple, quadruple the CBP budget, would that 1 million release go down? And they categorically said no, it would go up. Do you agree, yes or no?
I'm not sure I understand your question, Congressman. With the addition...
With the number of people being released in the United States under current law, would it go down no matter how much you increased your budget? And it would not, as they said. Do you agree, yes or no?
Congressman, if I understand your question correctly, when individuals are in the United States and they make a claim for asylum...
So the number would not go down is the answer, right? Yes or no? That's what they said, and I think you just answered it. It would not go down. The only plan that you offer, the plan you just offered, is to process aliens faster and encourage more to come. We know that to be true. I know it's true. You know it's true. Cartels know it's true, and people around the world know it's true, and that's why people are coming.
That is false.
It's not false.
Yes, it is.
The entirety of your plan says that. The Secure Fence Act of 2006 says what? That the Secretary of Homeland Security shall take all actions the Secretary determines necessary to achieve and maintain operational control over the entire international land and maritime borders. Will you testify under oath right now? Do we have operational control, yes or no?
Yes, we do. And
we have operational control of the borders.
Yes, we do. And Congressman, we are working to...
Listen what operational control defined. In this section, the term operational control means the prevention of all unlawful entries into the United States, including entries by terrorists, other unlawful aliens, instruments of terrorism, narcotics, and other contraband. Do you stand behind your testimony that we have operational control in light of this definition?
We do, and Congressman, I think the Secretary of Homeland Security would have said the same thing in 2020 and in 2019.
The Secretary would have at least had a basis for saying that we have some sort of control of the border, but the fact is we currently have people flowing across the border, including dangerous narcotics and dangerous members of terrorists, which your own agency sent a letter to my office after 8 months. We sent a letter saying there are 42 people on the terrorist watch list that are in the United States, which you just said to Mr. Jordan, you don't even know where the hell they are. And that's what you're saying is operational control, including entries by terrorists and unlawful aliens? It's not operational control. Mr. Secretary, let me ask you a question. When we're looking ahead and we're talking about asylum, okay? Here, if the officer determines at the time of the interview that an alien has a credible fear of persecution, the alien shall be detained for further consideration. Mandatory detention. Any alien subject to the procedures under this clause shall be detained, pending a final determination of credible fear of persecution. Is everyone being detained? Yes or no?
No, and as a matter of fact, Congressman, that is an issue that is before the United States Supreme Court. And
the fact of the matter is our law says they should be detained, and your agency is releasing people on purpose in order to flood the zone and make sure that more people can come to the United States. And you use parole to do it. Parole of aliens within the following groups have been retained, come down here on a case-by-case basis for urgent humanitarian reasons or significant public benefit. Yet your office is using parole. But when you use parole, the fact is they're not showing back up to ICE. Your own letter to Senator Johnson, to this committee, have acknowledged they're not showing back up to ICE. How can you be saying that you have operational control or that we're securing the United States when they're not showing back up?
Congressman, are you actually interested in the facts and the law?
Yeah, I'm reading you the law, and I'm actually talking to you about the facts about who's into this country.
Actually, you're
now let's actually go to something that's
Chairman, can the witness be allowed to answer the question?
Well, there wasn't a question there to be answered.
Gentleman's time.
Point. Now let's talk about the damage being done to the United States of America. Mr. Secretary, do you know what this is? This is a mobile morgue, a body trailer, needed by counties in South Texas overwhelmed by dead migrants. That particular trailer is filled with these bodies, 27 bodies that were stored in this mobile morgue in South Texas with dead bodies of migrants. Dead bodies like this one found on a ranch just 3 weeks ago in South Texas, a dead migrant. Somehow that's compassion. How about the dead bodies found by migrants? Compassion. How about the ranchers who had to walk out of their door, and this is what they faced, gentlemen with rocks threatening a rancher in South Texas, only able to be saved when they are able to bring their dogs out to scare the people away in order to save themselves. Or the fact that you've got houses being attacked, you've got livestock dead on the side because we've got ranches wide open. How about the little girl here with a brand on her arm? A little girl with a brand on her arm because of your policies. A little girl here in the desert found by ranchers trying to save their life. And how about the lost voices for people dying from fentanyl? The tens of thousands of Americans dying from fentanyl. Faces of Americans across this country dying because of fentanyl pouring into our country.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
You know full well.
Time of the gentleman has expired, Ms.
Encouraging people to come here, harming Texas and harming this country. You know it. And you're ignoring the
time
actual
of
truth.
the gentleman has expired.
When it comes to our border, have you done anything right? Record number last July, record number of illegal migrants coming into our country last July. That record was just broken last month, and next month you're going to make it worse. Agents turning their back on you when you speak. Agents on video on horseback patrol doing their job. Democrats call them racist. You guys throw them under the bus. Fentanyl coming across our border like we've never seen before. Are you doing anything right when it comes to the border?
Oh, Congressman, so you mentioned I've done a tremendous number of things correct, and of which I am very proud. And let me just pick up on one element of your question, and that's the element of fentanyl. Because the effort to smuggle fentanyl into our country actually comes through the ports of entry. And we have increased the interdiction of fentanyl by quite a significant amount. Through the devotion of technological resources and other.
I think there are lots of families who have been impacted by this drug who would have a different take on that, but we appreciate what you are doing at the ports of entry. That doesn't take into account what's happening outside the ports of entry. Let me just ask you this question, because this gets to the numbers and the records that you have broken month after month after month after month, 5 months in a row, and then of course that record was just broken last month. Do you think that maybe, just maybe, your actions and your policies are encouraging migrants to come to the border? Moratorium on deportations was announced on day one by President Biden. You've ended Remain in Mexico. You've ended agreements with Northern Triangle countries. You've stopped building the wall. And in 25 days, Title 42 goes away. Do you think that's encouraging people to come to the border?
Congressman, the increase at the border is the result of a number of factors, and it's a regional phenomenon.
Maybe a number of factors. I'm asking about those specific factors, your actions, your policies.
I do not. I think that individuals.
Come on. You went to Berkeley, you went to Loyola, you're no dummy. You understand, the folks I represent, good people, they understand that when you put those kind of policies in place, that encourages, incentivizes people to come. And I haven't even talked about the biggest incentive, Mr. Secretary. The biggest incentive for people to come is they know they're going to get released. You're going to let them go. Come to America illegally. There's no wall to stop you. We won't deport you. You won't have to stay in Mexico while we check you out, and you'll get released to wherever you want to go. We'll put you on a bus. We'll put you on a plane. Now, you may have to fly in the middle of the night, because we don't want the American taxpayers who are paying for this, we don't want them to know where you're going and that we're doing this. And of course, when they get there, I mean, this is just so common sense. Again, the folks I get the privilege of representing understand that when they get there, you know what they're going to do? They're going to get on their phone. May not be the phone you gave them, but they're going to get on their phone and they're going to call back home and they'll say, hey, come to America. Mayorkas is letting you in. They won't even call. They'll probably FaceTime. Hey, look, I made it. Show it around. That's what they're going to do. That's what your policies have incentivized. And the part that bugs me is that is so unfair to the American taxpayer and the American citizen. And maybe most importantly, Mr. Secretary, I think that's unfair to the people who came here legally, the immigrants who did it the right way. I think it's unfair to them. I think it's spitting in their face. Your policies are driving this influx we have seen, the record after record.
Ranking Member Jordan, can I answer your question?
So I just paused.
Because I want to speak of one success. But first, I'll return very quickly to the issue of fentanyl and opioid overdose deaths. In 2020, there were approximately 50% more opioid deaths in this country than over 2019. 2020 versus 2019. The scourge of illegal drugs in this country.
Let me ask you this,
something
because you can. I mean, look. I want you to answer the question of your actions and your policies are driving and incentivizing people to come. People with common sense know that they are. Let me ask you this: do you think when you release 836,225 illegal immigrants into our country, do you think that is actually accomplishing the objective of the cartels? These people pay the cartels money to get here, pay them lots of money, for them lots of money, to get here, and then you're actually releasing them. Isn't that sort of accomplishing the objective of the cartels?
Congressman, those are individuals who have claimed asylum under our laws. Let me speak of one success, since I didn't have an opportunity to answer your question. In 2010, when I was in the Department of Homeland Security, I was told that one of the infirmities in our system is it takes 6 to 8 years between the time of encounter at the border and the time of a final adjudication of an asylum claim. That was in 2010. Nothing was done to address that until this administration. We
And as
promulgated—
Mr. Gates pointed out, Mr. Secretary, 1.2 million of them went through that process. They're supposed to be removed, and you're not doing it.
We promulgated an asylum
And you're not
officer
doing
rule.
it.
We promulgated an asylum officer rule that is taking effect at the end of May.
Let me ask
That
you
will
one last
actually
thing.
take that 6
42
Gentleman's
illegal immigrants were encountered at our border are on the terrorist and no-fly list. Are any of them still in our country?
Gentleman's time has expired.
This is an important question for this committee. Are any of them still in our country?
Congressman, I will
witness
deliver
can't.
to you a response with respect
No,
to—
That's a
this
simple
position.
question. Are terrorists people on the terrorist watch list, no-fly list, are they still in the United States that you've encountered on the border?
Congressman, some of them may be still in detention. So I will—
Have any
I
of them
will
been
provide
released?
you—
Have any of them been
Gentleman's
released?
time has expired.
This is critical for the.
Recognizes
You got 42.
woman-
Have they been
the
released? Will the gentleman answer that question?
Jayapal.
Congressman, I
Thank
will
you.
provide you with—
Thank you,
the data.
Madam
may have been released.
Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking
love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Just open up. Don't be scared. Back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Just open up. Don't be scared.